Hey guys, welcome to the finale of this series. I'm going to do the late pick four from Aqueduct today, and it's been fun. It's crazy how busy things get when you're doing this full time. It's like this time of morning, I'm usually making sure my bets are ready for the day, checking things out, getting ready for scratches and everything else. So still playing. I try to keep it to about 3 tracks a day. I might even go down to 2 in the new year. We'll see, but it's been working for me. It's successful. It's just difficult to maintain that pace. Trying to watch replays and trying to keep on top of trainer standings and just everything, track biases, and it's difficult juggling 3 tracks. I've done up to 5, and that's like totally insane. So we will end this series and we'll see what the new year brings. I don't know. I'm going to go deep undercover, deep in hiding, and just do this, donate my time, dedicate my time to this. It's awesome. I'm so happy that I'm able to do this full time. It's a labor of love. It's something I've been involved in my entire life, not necessarily making my living betting, but the fact that it's going well, really, I'm extremely pleased with it, and I want to see how far it can go in the future. So you won't hear a lot from me in the next little while. I might write about it. I might do we'll see where it goes, but maybe I'll pop up once in a while with a video. You just never know. So let's get into it. Enough about me and my whatever I'm doing. Aqueduct's 6th race today. There's 4 horses I'm going to focus in on in my pick 4. I do like the 4 and the 5. I'll put the 1 and 7 kind of as saver plays. It's a decent filly and mare race, allowance race here. The 1 Hybrid Eclipse gets on the undercard basically because I just hate when Linda Rice beats me. Now, she hasn't beat me a lot this meet. She is really not firing on all cylinders so far. Sometimes when this starts to happen, we're still playing the horses, we're not playing the trainers, but when a barn goes in a slump, you really need to take notice of that because it can kind of stay that way for a while. I experienced it myself. I trained horses for a lot of years, and it just seems when things go wrong, things go really wrong. So we'll see if Linda can shake out of that. This horse, last time in the Comely, this was an impossible spot anyways, but I don't know why I can't talk in the mornings. Excuse me, I'm very sorry. Hybrid Eclipse possible, I don't know. If she comes back to the start, maybe. That's why I can't do this anymore. I'm just not used to talking. The 4 Amelia's Moon, except when I'm screaming at my horses when they're coming down the stretch. Amelia's Moon, I think this is a legit horse to beat for Bill Mott. This start sets her up quite nicely to move forward. There's a lot of question marks with her. She is a 5-year-old mare who's, she's very light on experience here. This huge gap, it looks like she just got lost in a Peruvian mountain somewhere. I don't know. Who knows? But the fact she was able to spring up with this 84, followed with an 80. These are solid speed figures, so there's some ability there. I'll hope that she continues to improve, but there's some question marks. The 5 Maiden Beauty, a consideration too. She flashed a little early speed here. She's dangerous to go gate to wire. Carmouche obviously is going to try to get her very involved. I don't know if it was just the slop last time. She's handled slop before, but she just didn't seem all that comfortable in that race. Could have been the company she was keeping too, let's face it, a little bit rugged. And the 7-horse Vegas Weekend. Vegas Weekend for Manny Franco, he got her involved last time. I prefer her with this running style, sitting just off of it, although she has been able to take command and wire a field before. I prefer her to just sit back. So, there's a couple of speeds in here. We'll see if Franco's able to get her to just kind of relax and make her run from off the pace. So those are the 4 I'll take there, the 4, 5, and the 1 and 7 as, more minor players that I don't want to leave out. The Gravesend, this 6 furlong race, this is, so the 5 horses out. Obviously this would have been a single in here, but that one has been reported to be scratched. I'm doing this before scratch time, but when they say they're scratching, they scratch. The 1 Jackson Traveler, I'll put him in for Steve Asmussen. He kind of keeps knocking on the door. He's really consistent. And when you have this kind of record, he's never been out of the top 3, and they've raced him on turf. They've raced him on synthetic. They've raced him on dirt. They've shipped him to up my neighborhood here in Canada. They've done everything with this horse. This is just a cool horse. But he's also kind of avoided the main tracks too, right? And the times he ran in New York, Saratoga Belmont, he was on the grass. So it's interesting to see, even last race he was at Mahoning. It's interesting to see what he'll do now that he's going to be tested a little bit more today. But I like his consistency. I'll put him underneath the 3-horse Wendell Fong. I don't want to leave this horse out. He should offer a decent price. Wendell Fong is one of these horses who once in a while will come up. I mean, he's got the speed figures that can compete in a race like this. Trevor McCarthy has ridden him, just here you see twice, and they were both good second place finishes, including one in the Tom Fool last year where he finished just behind Chateau. So maybe, he needs some things to go his way, definitely. It seems like he's committed to just being a late running sprint type. That works sometimes. The good thing is he's got more wins than seconds, so he does tend to get up in time. Big breaks. I mean, his 5-year-old making his 17th lifetime start. The 4 Drafted I looked at for a while. I guess I could see Drafted maybe. He just doesn't seem to be fast enough. I'm stuck on his figures just not being quick enough, and I don't know. So we wonder where Craig is supposedly not in this race. That's where he isn't. The 6-horse Chateau, I think, will take control of this race. The fact that Craig is out, I don't think Chateau had a chance when this horse was in. Now that he's out, I think he's got a big chance. Carmouche will just set him up in front and see if he can go all the way. He did it down here, won the Tom Fool earlier this season at Aqueduct. The horse has 5 of his wins have come at Aqueduct, so he definitely likes his track. So Chateau for me, I think now with the defection of Craigie, is probably the one to beat here. Over to race number 8, this race, so the filly's going 1 mile and an eighth, or sorry, the older boy's going 1 mile and an eighth. You're to blame. I've included him on my ticket. Just a kind of a model of consistency, this horse. Distance suits. That's why I like him. I like him getting back to the 9 furlongs. He doesn't get an opportunity to do that very often. Last time Dylan rode him at Saratoga, he was moving extremely late. You look and see who was in front of him. Like Thomas Shelby won that race. Thomas Shelby was in the midst of, and he's run a lot against Lone Rock. Those 2 horses came back yesterday at Oaklawn and proved that they're 2 of the top older horses right now, finishing first and second. You're to blame, just that's the problem though. He always seems to be the bridesmaid. Good win here. We'll see if he can come back to that in his second start for Rob Atras off of the Claim. The 2-horse getting there too, Backside of the Moon. Backside of the Moon reportedly could be his last start. He won this race last year with an aggressive ride by Lezcano, so we'll look for similar tactics. It seems like Jose always gets him up into the race, so yeah, he's had a bit of a challenging season, not getting that win yet, but maybe it'll come today. I'm not going to put all my eggs in his basket because he also seems to have lost a step from last year where he just doesn't have that tactical speed right now. The 6 Empty Tomb, I'll throw him in like way underneath. He'd be like a C if you're playing, the old ABC kind of ticket. He's just once in a while, right? I don't like this though, this huge 97 last start. Horses very often don't come back to that. Sometimes they do, but an older horse going a career best buyer, with a race where he battled throughout, a lot of times they just do not come back. So I'm extremely skeptical of him. The 8-horse Mystic Knight I like as my top horse for Chad Brown. It's almost a default Chad Brown pick in here. The horse been spotted extremely well throughout. He just continues to finish in the top. Last start is a bit of a concern because he was supposed, by us bettors, he was supposed to win. Couldn't. He ran okay, though. He was sort of just like in between horses the whole time. I don't know that he ever really settled into himself, but he's gotten into this little bit of a bad habit here of not sealing the deal, and last start was even more marked than the ones before. So Mystic Knight, yeah, he's going to be my top pick, but not a super confident one. I'll definitely lean a little bit on the 1 and the 2 as well in there. And in the 9th and final, possible race, as per usual, to end up the card with these State Bred Maiden 40s going 1 mile. I'm going inside, I'm going outside. I'm going with 1 Lucky Brody. Lucky Brody's last start on turf. Don't care, don't know why he was there. But the last time they turfed and came back into a dirt race, he was muddy, unfortunately. And even that was a washed off the turf. That was so interesting. But he did finish second there. He's shown signs. He's in for the 40 now. The first time he's on dirt, in for the price. So I'm not going to leave him out. The 2, 7, and 10 get into the underspots here. Viking Zim Showing nice speed last out. This isn't a horse that has shown speed in quite a while, and so the fact that he did, I like that. I think that's a sign of impending improving form. And second off the start, second off the claim for Rudy. What I'm trying to say, I think that this horse has to be considered. Some of these ones in the middle, I can't make a huge case for them. Sandra the Great is kind of weird. I mean, these are huge figures, but they're turf figures. His dirt figures are not nearly as good. So I'm kind of just saying no to him. He, maybe, I'm not saying big no, but I'm just not playing him. The 7 Oliver's Fortune, you have to leave some of them away. You can't play them all. Oliver's Fortune, and he might get bet too. This one, moving up, he probably should have stayed here. He hasn't been able to win. He's been in the 40s before, and they keep popping him back up. He was in the 25. That was for a different trainer. But he's shown some signs. This last start was decent enough second. It's not like he's got to be super tough in here to win. So I'll put him in, definitely in. This was not a good trip last time. We'll just say that. It wasn't a good trip at all. The horse, I'm not sure he would have won, but I think he would have been right there in the mix if things worked out. And then you get a subsequent rider change, so perhaps the trainer not super happy either. Those things happen. The 10 Rush to Honor, just because he hasn't shown that he's completely devoid of talent, as some of the other ones have. This is such a long layoff too, and for a barn that's not exactly firing on all cylinders right now, there's some big question marks with Rush to Honor for me. I'll throw in the 13, Got the Gold as one of my top picks. Got the Gold for Chris Englehart. This horse has decent enough New York form. He's faced, a couple of tougher horses. Gold Panda when he was really, really good. He's seen some competitors that he's not facing today. It's been a while. He was in the 40 once. Should he have won this race? I don't know. I mean, it's a long time ago. It was a 3-year-old earlier in his season. So we'll see. He's done enough in the meantime to be worthy of a look for me. So that's it. So enjoy your plays. I always say it, just focus on what you're good at. Find out what you're good at first. I keep meticulous records, and it's amazing what they can tell you in terms of which tracks I'm successful at. I'll tell you right now, Gulfstream, not a track I do well at. California tracks, just I don't focus on them a lot, but when I've played them in the past, just no consistent success there. I don't know why. It just is what it is. I really like Laurel. I like the New York tracks. Aqueduct this time of year, it is what it is. But Saratoga I quite enjoy, I do well at Parks. I don't know. It's just random, but there are specific tracks that I play and specific bets that I do well at also. So anyways, that's enough rambling for me. So take care. Happy holidays to all of you, and we'll see what happens in the new year. You never know what projects will be on the go, but for now, it's just like blinkers are on and it's full out handicapping. So take care. Thanks for watching, and cash all your tickets.